Alright, Mulan from 1998, the original Mulan. I'm reviewing this because Mulan 2020, the live action version, was meant to be coming out like a couple of days ago in the cinema, but they just completely dropped it. I don't know what's going on there. I looked into it and I guess they thought it wouldn't make any profit because apparently not enough people are going back to the cinema yet, which I guess I understand because of Rona and all that. But yeah, they dropped it from the cinema and I guess they're going to put it out on Disney Plus. I don't know what the deal with that is, if they're going to premiere and charge for it or if it's just going to become free eventually. But I don't know, it's a bummer that it's not coming out of cinema. It looked good, the cast looked good, and I think it would have been a good cinema experience. So yeah, the original Mulan came out in, I think, 1998. That's what my notes say. So we'll go with that, 1998. And this was actually my first time seeing it. I've never seen Mulan. And I've never really seen a lot of the original Disney movies, in all honesty, which I know is like blasphemy. I've seen like all the Disney Pixar stuff, you know, your Toy Stories, Cars, Monsters Inc., all that sort of thing, but I've never actually seen a whole lot of them, to be honest. I saw like Lion King growing up. That's about as much as I ventured into what Disney did, you know, the OG stuff. So yeah, first time watching Mulan. Now, if you don't know, the plot for Mulan involves China being attacked back in the day. This isn't the modern day, this is back in the day. But yeah, China's being attacked by this like clan or group called the Huns. They're trying to take over China. So the Emperor's like, okay, we need people for the army. We need some soldiers here. So he decides to call up one member from each family in China. It has to be a male because, you know, sexist, am I right? Now there's this one family that has a mum, a dad, and a daughter. The daughter is Mulan, hence the name of the movie. Now the dad is kind of old and he's a bit crippled. He has like a walking stick, all this stuff, but he's the only male in the family, so he has to go to war. Now Mulan wants to sort of impress her family. She's kind of let him down recently, and she's like, nah, dad, you can't go to war, and he's having none of it. So she does what anyone would do and cuts her hair short, steals the armour, and puts on a deep voice and pretends to be a dude and joins the army. Yeah. Now this is a good movie. This movie looks good. You know, the animation, I guess they've sort of rejuvenated it or whatever you want to call it, remastered it in a sense. It's really smooth, really colourful, and it flows nicely. It's good animation considering this is an old movie, so I don't know if it looked all that good back then, but you know, they certainly touched it up nicely for you know, Disney Plus. And the voice acting is also very good. Very good. They got some really good like actors in here. I mean, not necessarily because I know them all, but they do a good job with the voice. You got Eddie Murphy. He's voicing like the little dragon guardian dude that's like the guardian for Mulan. The dragon's called Mushu. And Eddie Murphy's great. You know, obviously this is like before Shrek and stuff, and all I heard when he was talking was donkey. You know, it's like the same sort of character in a sense, like a goofy sidekick sort of thing, and that was really entertaining. He was probably the standout in this movie for character and voice, all that sort of thing, but yeah, he was really good. Now I don't want to sound too critical because this is like a Disney animated movie for kids, so it's, you know, I don't want to sound like a dick when I'm reviewing this, but I have to. I'm reviewing it, right? I got to talk about what wasn't so great. And for me, it was just the plot was cool. I liked the plot. I think that was nice. But the threat from the villains didn't really feel that much of a threat from the Huns. Like, they never really felt like they were this powerful, scary force. I mean, obviously the dude's big. He has like a hawk that just sits on his shoulder and flies around and stuff. And I mean, yeah, that hits your stereotype for, whoa, big bad boss, creepy and stuff. But nah, it just wasn't really doing it for me. And as a whole, they just didn't feel much of a threat. Like with this, you always felt like the good guys would win. It's not like a, say, a Lion King situation where you're thinking, will Simba actually, spoilers by the way for Lion King, like will Simba actually, you know, avenge his father and all this sort of stuff. So, but here it just kind of felt like a dead cert that, you know, Mulan and the crew, the general, you know, the people helping her out would overcome it, and, you know, the Emperor and China would win and defeat the Huns. But I don't know. And I think when the threat doesn't feel that big, it kind of makes it harder to root for the characters, and that makes them not less likable, but you don't, because you don't root for them as much, you don't really, well, I guess you don't like them as much in a sense, not as much as you would like other characters. They just don't become as lovable, I guess that's the way of putting it, which stops them from being as memorable, and it stops them really getting to that like top level of like memorable Disney characters, you know, the ones you really like cherish and like go in like your list of like favorite Disney characters, that sort of thing. They're not like bad or anything. Like I said, they are likable, but it's just not quite at that top level for me. But you know, that doesn't really take away from it. This is a fun movie, and you know, it had some good songs in it as well, to be fair. You know, it's a Disney movie, there's going to be some sing songs in there. And it's not overdone, they're spaced out nicely. I think it's like 4 or 5 or something, but, you know, they're actually pretty good, pretty catchy, good variety to them. So, yeah, decent songs. Mulan is an 8 out of 10, so good film. It's definitely worth watching if you haven't seen it. You know, if you're into the Disney movies, if you're into a bit of fun, animation, all that sort of thing, heck yeah, this is a good film. And, you know, the live action, if it can do it as well, you know, just as well as this has in live action form, you know, maybe build on it, make a better movie, you never know. It's got potential, but I don't know when the fuck we'll see it, to be honest, because that's like a mystery at this stage. But yeah, it's got some, you know, good stuff to live up to. So yeah. Up next we have Mulan 2, so I will see you in that one.